My name is Rosa. I'm sitting in my car, hands stiff from gripping the wheel so tightly. The world outside blurs past in streaks of streetlights and rain, but I can't even remember half the turns I've made. The weight of what just happened is crushing me, and I'm still trying to process it all. I just confronted my mother, and it was like a dam had burst. All the lies, the betrayal, and the years of manipulation came flooding out. I never thought I'd find myself in this situation, but here I am, my whole world turned upside down. It all started a few months ago when my mother, Isabella, mentioned a family trip. She was so excited, talking about how it would be a chance for all of us to reconnect and make some new memories. I was struggling financially at the time, but I wanted to be part of the family so badly. I skipped paying my rent for a month and managed to save up $4,500 to send her for the villa deposit. She promised me that everything was going to be perfect, and I believed her. Fast forward to a couple of weeks ago. I was at the grocery store, minding my own business, when I ran into my Aunt Vivian. She gave me that polite family smile, but when I asked her about the family trip, her face turned pale. "We went last month, honey." "Everyone did," she said. My heart dropped. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. I tried to explain that I had paid for the trip, but Aunt Vivian was just as confused as I was. She said that my mother had paid for everything herself and never mentioned that I had helped. I pulled out my phone and scrolled through our old messages. There it was, her asking me to send the $4,500 by Friday so we could book together. I felt sick to my stomach. I left the store without buying anything and sat in my car, scrolling through the family group chat. Dozens of photos of the trip popped up, my brother relaxing on the beach, my cousins on a yacht, and my mother posing beside a delicious dinner spread. I had been so excited about being part of this trip, and yet I had been left out. When I got home, I called my mother. She answered with her usual syrupy sweet voice, asking if everything was okay. I forced myself to stay calm and told her that I had run into Aunt Vivian at the store. There was a short pause on the other end of the line, and then she tried to brush it off, saying that Aunt Vivian exaggerated. But I wasn't going to let her get away with it. I told her that I had seen the photos in the group chat, and she finally admitted that they had gone on the trip. She said that everyone thought I was too busy to come, and that it was a last-minute thing. I reminded her that she had asked me for the money to book early. Her tone turned defensive. She started talking about how hard it was to keep the family together and that the money had helped all of us. She said I should be proud that it had gone to something good. I was furious. I told her that she had used my savings to have a fake family vacation and left me behind. As we argued, my brother sent me a message saying that they didn't know I had paid. That made me even more suspicious. If they didn't know, then who did my mother really spend the money with? I started searching through my emails and found a forwarded receipt from 6 weeks ago. The payment of $4,500 had been made to AC. More travel fund, but the email address wasn't my mother's real one. When I clicked for more details, it said it was a deposit for a private getaway for 2 adults. Not a family trip, but a couple's vacation. Then Aunt Vivian sent me some more photos. In them, my mother was sitting at a seaside table, laughing with a man I didn't recognize. Her hand was on his arm, and it was clear they were more than just friends. My father had been at home, recovering from surgery at that time. I was shaking so badly that I dropped my keys twice as I grabbed them and drove to my mother's house. Her car was in the driveway, the same one I had helped her pay off last year. I climbed the porch steps, memories of her teaching me to ride a bike on this very porch flooding back. I didn't knock. I just walked straight in. She was in the kitchen, sipping wine and scrolling through her phone, looking way too calm. I asked her if she was back from her vacation, and she jumped, clearly startled. I confronted her about the lies, the money, and the affair. She tried to defend herself, saying that she had raised me alone and had made so many sacrifices. She said that she needed something for herself for once. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. I reminded her that my father had been sick at home. She just looked down and whispered that he didn't need to know. The silence that followed was deafening. It was worse than the yelling. I realized that this wasn't just about money or a vacation. It was about years of lies and manipulation. She had always made me feel guilty whenever I set boundaries, and now I was seeing the pattern clearly. Then her phone buzzed. It was a text from the man, saying that the flight was worth every cent and that he missed her. I was faster than her and grabbed the phone. She pleaded with me not to tell my father. I looked at her, the woman who had raised me, and I felt something inside me break. I told her that from now on, she couldn't use my silence as protection. I drove home in a daze. When I got there, my phone buzzed again. It was my father. His voice was weak, but warm as he asked if I was helping my mother plan something. I felt sick to my stomach as I lied to him, saying something like that. After we hung up, I looked at my reflection in the car window. My eyes were puffy, and my mascara was streaked, but I felt a strange sense of calm. I opened my notes app and typed 2 sentences. Next paycheck, cancel joint account access, and Dad deserves the truth. The next morning, sunlight poured through my blinds, as if nothing had happened. But I knew that something inside me had changed forever. I drove to my father's house after breakfast. He was sitting in his recliner, smiling when he saw me, the oxygen machine humming softly beside him. "Morning, kiddo," he said. "Did your mom make it home yet?" I took a deep breath. "Not yet, Dad, but there's something you need to know." It was the hardest thing I've ever had to do, but I told him everything. The affair, the money, the lies. He listened without interrupting, his eyes glistening but steady. When I finished, he just nodded and said, "I always hoped I was wrong, but thank you for being brave enough to tell me." I squeezed his hand. "You didn't deserve this, Dad. None of us did." He gave me a faint smile. "Neither did you, Rosa." As I walked out onto the porch later, a strange calm washed over me. The truth had hurt, but it had also set me free from the illusion that I owed silence to those who had betrayed me. That night, I got a message from my mother. "I hope one day you'll understand, but I'm not sure if I ever will. What she did, it can't just be forgiven. It's a wound that will take a long time to heal. I know that the road ahead will be tough. There will be more tears, more arguments, and a lot of healing to do. But I'm ready to face it all. I no longer feel small or controlled. I'm going to take back my life, one step at a time."